What's up, y'all? It's MDA, Mr. Dope America himself. MusicPlusTV.com. Our special guest today in our green room. Too short dog himself. What's up, man? How you feeling?
What's up? Chilling.
Traffic was crazy today.
Well, it's LA, man. Traffic is crazy.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's true.
All day, all night.
I gotta hand it to you though. You came here, you made it. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people getting that traffic and they get so frustrated. Traffic today in LA. It's gonna be the same. I think it's gonna get worse.
Not to mention the freeway.
We're right off the 101, and when you take a left right here off, because people are trying to get on the freeway, it's no joke. So sorry about that. We'll have to move when we make all that money. We'll be able to put it somewhere a little more. You know, we'll have our own exit probably.
There you go. There you go. Nice. There you go.
So I'm gonna talk to you about the obvious. I want to talk about your first record, your very first record that you put out. I remember when I was younger. And seeing like your Dangerous Music logo, the Playboy Bunny, and like your first stuff that you put out, the days back then. Do you look back at that stuff and go, man, I was putting it down? One of the first, you and Ice-T, to put the whole pimpology to the music. Do you feel proud? Like I started this. I was a part of this.
Well, you know, back then I was extremely confident, as I am now, in my craft and, you know, the way I made music and what I talked about. And, I mean, you know, I knew that because of what fascinated me about the player pimp lifestyle and the, you know, the hookers on the street and stuff, what I was just like, you know, I thought it was so colorful and stuff. I mean, it had already had a good run in a lot of books. It already had a good run in movies in the 70s,
big time.
Early 80s, you know, and I knew it was fascinating. So I was actually rapping about something that I saw up close and personal. There's a lot of pimping going on in Oakland, still is, and you know, it was, to me, it was always, back then, a rapper had to be, you had to be in your own world. You had to be, this was your style, that was his style, that was her style. You know, nobody was sharing styles.
Exactly.
You couldn't have the same delivery. You couldn't have the same voice. You couldn't use the same catchphrases.
Not like now.
Yeah, everybody was on their own. So that was my thing. I was like, okay, I'm the pimp.
Right.
You know?
Now, saying that and knowing that, I think back then, especially in the Bay Area, you were probably like one of the few cats because that was probably around a lot of different people that were rapping, but you just said, I'm gonna rap about the obvious. This is who I am, this is what's around me, and I'm gonna rap about that. Whereas some people might not have thought about what's right in their face. Sometimes I think MCs, they run out of stuff to talk about because they ain't talking about what's right there.
I can remember the moment that I decided to be the person that I am as far as, you know, Too Short.
Right. And
I was walking down the street, and it was the very first time I ever heard Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel singing The Message.
Right, yeah.
I had been rapping for a couple of years, and everything was just, you know, just some fun stuff. You know, some of it was funny. But when I heard The Message, I probably used to carry a big boombox back then.
Yeah.
I was carrying my radio, and I was picturing New York. And I'm walking down the street in Oakland, and I'm like, damn, that's what I'm going to do. I'm getting ready to rap about Oakland.
Yeah.
You know? And it was just that moment. So, you know, it was to me, man. It's just a, like you say, it was what's in front of me.
Yeah.
And I had no doubt about it that after 4 years of selling tapes in the streets of East Oakland, and the formula was proven.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Bay Area took to it. Yeah. All of Northern California took to it. You know, people were jumping on airplanes and taking old Too Short cassettes back to Texas and
I grew up
and
in
out to LA. But this is before I ever made a record.
Right. No, I remember your tapes. That's what I'm saying. I remember your tapes in Indiana.
So when I got in the studio, the first time I got in the studio in '85, I said, I want to do these raps. And they said, oh, man, you can't rap that stuff. You got to, you know, no record store will put that stuff on the shelf. No record label will ever sign you if you curse on a record. So I made 2 albums with no cursing.
Yeah, I think I heard one of those.
And the first one I broke out without being edited was Freaky Tales.
Right.
And that shit was like, it was like, you know, like the hottest commodity on the streets.
That's a classic.
It was summer of '87. And it was 2 songs that I heard every car play. Boys in the Hood and Freaky Tales. And every car played those songs all that summer out here in California. You know?
Both classics, both right there, and like Hall of Fame type material right there. Growing up in Indiana, I got I had sort of an in as far as the music I heard on the West Coast because my aunt worked at Leopold Records.
Oh yeah, you was in there.
Yeah,
all the way.
She would send me your stuff and whatever was hot out of the Bay. Her name was Andy, and she sent me pictures of you and her one day. Like, I was like, man, you sitting there with Too Short, and she was just
I went to Leopold's and did autograph signings.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
she was signing autographs, right? And she worked there. And she was always sending me your 12 inches. I was blessed because I'm a little kid in Indiana, like a kid collecting records, trying to DJ.
That's
and
right.
She was just hooking me up. So that's how I got.
Yeah, you had the hookup.
Yeah, that was a hookup. That don't exist no more. I heard Leopold's is out.
Yeah, but they still have that spirit of the independent record stores.
Right.
That like what's this one out here called? Amoeba. Yeah, there's one in every town. They're hanging in there. I love those stores though.
Yeah, you got to rep those stores. Now all that stuff you did back in the day, I know your label has changed names. It's still Dangerous Music became Up All Night, right?
Yep, I did. I went through the Short Records for a minute.
Right. Yeah.
It's always me.
Yeah.
And my crew. We just the only reason why we changed names is for like business reasons.
Really.
Still the same organization,
Right.
Same foundation, the same funky concept.
And another thing that's unique to you is that the fact that you've been on Jive for so long, like you've been on one label for so long. Most artists don't do that anymore.
Yeah, most artists cannot get through an entire contract, which would be 5, 6, 7, 8 albums, depending on how many albums you sign on for. They probably fall off like around 2 or 3. They get mad with their own crew. They get mad at the label. They go to the next label. It's like like free agents in football.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody want to get traded.
Yeah, nobody's on the same squad no more.
So what I did, but it helps that I've always been the boss of me.
Yeah, it makes
and
sense.
It helps that I work so fast. I make albums like one every year. Never let too much time go by. And I actually went through 2 contracts with Jive. I went through the first 6 albums, and then we, they gave us a bunch of money, and went through another 7. This is 13 albums with Jive. This is actually the last one. Blow the Whistle is the last Too Short Jive album. We're gonna do a greatest hits, which I don't know how you're gonna get all Too Short's greatest hits
that'll be like a box
on a CD.
Set.
Yeah, I don't know.
A box set, man.
I don't know what the plan is, but I know it's coming soon, and
crazy.
That'll be the last thing that I do with Jive. So it'll be officially 14 albums with Jive.
Now is that by your choice, or that's just a contract? How the contract went?
No, it's just over, man. Jive really, believe it or not, they said, hey, let's restructure the deal and keep going.
Wow, man.
And I'm like, it's gonna take a lot more than restructuring the deal. I'm more like I'm like when a player plays for a team so long, and then you become more than a player. You become part of the management or the administration or something. You get up in there.
Are the team.
You get a piece of the stock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they're not about to share that with me. So
right, yeah. So it's been that long.